Arya, sleep never came. The maid's words echoed in the suffocating silence of my room, a cruel mantra of my own foolishness. Useless, wolfless. Why would the king ever choose her? I told myself they were just rumors. Vicious gossip from jealous girl. Damien wouldn't do this. Not after everything. He wouldn't. The sun was fully up now, its light doing nothing to chase away the chill that had settled deep in my bones. I got up and walked to the small, rickety wardrobe. Inside, there was a sea of dark, practical fabrics. Black and gray combat tunics, leather leggings, durable cloaks. The tools of my trade. But tucked in the very back, wrapped in protective linen, was a single dress. It was made of a fabric the color of moonlight, simple and elegant. Damien had given it to me for my 18th birthday, one of the few birthdays he'd remembered. It was a rare moment of softness in our harsh, shared reality. I remembered his fingers brushing my arm as he handed it to me, his voice low. This color, it matches your eyes. My fingers traced the soft material. It felt like a relic from another life, a life where I was more than just his shield. I would wear it tonight. The decision was impulsive, desperate. I would wear it to the announcement. A silent reminder of his words, of the girl he once saw beneath the armor. A sharp, rapid knock on the door shattered my thoughts. I pulled on a simple tunic and opened it. Leo White, one of the king's young messengers, stood in the hallway. He was barely a man, his face still holding the softness of youth. He used to look at me with wide-eyed adoration, like I was a legend from a storybook. Today he couldn't meet my eyes. His gaze was fixed on the stone floor at my feet. By order of the Alpha King, he recited, his voice stiff and formal, "You are to summon Lady Isabel Vance of the Vance family to return to the Obsidian Citadel immediately." The air in my lungs turned to ice. My heart, which had been fluttering with a fragile hope, felt like it was being squeezed by an invisible fist. I heard my own voice, unnatural calm. And Leo flinched. He swallowed hard, his head bowing even lower. His Majesty also commands that the lunar ceremonial suite be prepared for Lady Vance's arrival at once. Each word was a hammer blow, smashing the last of my pathetic, fragile dreams into dust. The doorframe was the only thing holding me upright. My knuckles were white where I gripped the wood. Leo looked relieved to have delivered his message. He mumbled a hasty "my lady," and practically fled down the corridor, his footsteps echoing in the sudden, crushing silence. I closed the door, the click of the latch sounding like a final judgment. My back slid down the cold, rough wood until I was crumpled on the floor. I remembered the last time I'd seen him. I was lying in this very bed, drifting in and out of consciousness from the silver poison. He had sat beside me holding my hand. His own hand had been trembling. His eyes, usually so guarded, had been filled with a storm of emotions I couldn't decipher. Pain, fear, and something else. Something that looked like regret. Arya, just resting with his voice raw. Wait for me to handle everything. His thumb had stroked the back of my hand, a gesture so tender it had made my heart ache. You don't know enough for me. From now on, I will protect you. I understood now. It wasn't a promise. It was a dismissal. I was the final, sharpest stepping stone on his path to the throne. I had absorbed the last blow meant for him. And now that the path was clear, the stone was no longer needed. It was to be cast aside. A sound escaped my lips, choked, a broken thing that sounded more like an animal's cry of pain than humans. Then I started to laugh. It was a horrible, hollow sound that scraped my throat raw. Tears streamed down my face, hot against my cold skin. The tears of a fool. Slowly, I pushed myself to my feet. My legs felt unsteady, like they belonged to someone else. I stumbled back to the wardrobe. The moon-white dress seemed to mock me from its hiding place. A symbol of a future that would now belong to Isabel Vance. My hand reached out, but it didn't go to the soft, shimmering fabric. It went to the very back, to the corner where my oldest, most worn uniform was kept. A plain black tunic and legging. The fabric was coarse, designed for durability, not comfort. It chafed against the skin, but the small, sharp pain was grounding. It was real. When Martha came back an hour later with a tray of breakfast I wouldn't eat, she found me already dressed. I was no longer Arya. I was the king's shadow, a weapon polished and ready. Her eyes, usually so full of warmth, turned red at the corners. She opened her mouth to say something, but I stopped her with a single look. Martha, my voice was flat, devoid of any emotion. Bray hair.